Gadzooks, odd bodkins, and scour my scales. What are all you children doing sitting around your phonographs? TV gone glimmering or some such? Well, as long as you're here and listening, I presume I'll tell you about myself. Nothing I'd rather do. I'm a dragon, you see. Oh, don't be frightened. I'm really harmless. It's just that I look so fierce that people expect something awful. It goes to show you that looks can be deceiving. It's what's inside that really counts. Oh, I'll admit I sound pretty terrible, too. Now you take my roar. The day I hatched out of my pretty little egg, the first thing my mother told me to do was to try my roar. So I tried. And it sounded like this. Oh, she was horrified. That will never do. It's a disgrace to the whole family. You'll have to begin practicing at once. Now, listen to me. So I began working hard on my roaring. Oh, I practiced an hour a day, and after several hundred years, I got pretty good at it. Like this. Now, another of my little tricks is this. The way I do that is to use my left wing to rub along the spiky scales on my back. And what do you have? Another scale, of course. Oh, but this time it's a musical one, like you kids practice on the piano or the harmonica or whatever other musical instrument you're learning to play. Forgive me if I brag a little, but one of the best things I do is this. Those bells are on my tail, you see, and when I give them a good shake, they do cause a commotion, don't they? I love to sneak up on people and ring my bells and watch them jump right out of their skins. Ooh, naughty, isn't it? Now, the most important thing of all is my breathing fire and smoke. I don't just breathe ordinary fire. I breathe fireworks, sparklers, Roman candles, and big skyrockets. Oh, listen to this. Now, not all dragons are fierce, or even fierce-sounding. Listen to this little song about a very reluctant dragon. Now, one fine day, while on my way to Ipswich by the sea, I met a rather charming chap who asked me into tea. Now, it seems he was a dragon. You know, the kind with wings. Oh, yes, teeth and tails and claws and scales and all those dragon-like details. Now, I admit, I jumped a bit when he began to sing. I'm the reluctant dragon, what ho, quite so. The very reluctant dragon, oh, very, very, don't you know? They call me the timid dragon. What rot. I'm not. I just won't fight, I'd rather play. I know I shan't get hurt that way. Here we go gathering nuts in May. Oops, I'm reluctant. Now, after we had sipped our tea, a thought popped in my head. A dragon here? By Jove, that's queer. He really should be dead. I say, look here, I said. Aren't you a bit extinct? And then the blighter gave a cry, heaved his bosom with his sigh. wiped a teardrop from his eye and then blushed and coyly winked. Oh dear.
I'm the reluctant dragon. What ho, quite so. The very reluctant dragon. Oh, very, very, don't you know? They call me the timid dragon. What rot, I'm not. When others fight, I run away. It's just because I'm built that way. I'm to be queen of the May today. Whoops, I'm reluctant.
And then he told of knights of old. Oh, it seems they were the bunk. They barged about in suits of tin and other sundry junk. The maidens fair with flaxen hair just simply littered up the place. And when they asked him into tea, which happened jolly frequently, oh, he would sigh reproachfully and put them in their place. Oh dear.
I'm the reluctant dragon. What ho, quite so. The very reluctant dragon. Oh, very, very, don't you know? They call me the timid dragon. What rot, I'm not. I'm much too shy to bill and coo. So you chase me and I'll chase you. Roses are red and violets are blue. Oops, I'm reluctant.
Well, as the night wore on, we talked till dawn of, many, many things. Of fish and chips and cricket bats and kidney pie and kings. Now at break of day, I slipped away for Ipswich by the sea. And no matter where I am, in Piccadilly or Siam, now when I have my tea and jam, this song comes back to me like this.
I'm the reluctant dragon. What ho, quite so. The very reluctant dragon. Oh, very, very, don't you know? They call me the timid dragon. What rot, I'm not. I just won't fight, I'd rather play. I know I shan't get hurt that way. Here we go gathering nuts in May. Oops, I'm reluctant.
Maybe you'd like to know something about dragon history. Now, the first thing you must realize is that we dragons have been around this old world a whole lot longer than human beings have. They say it was a wonderful place in the old days before men were here, when my great 1,000 times great-grandfather, the dinosaur, was ruling the roost. Oh, of course, the dinosaurs didn't have the advantages that we dragons do. Oh, no. They were for real, while, well, I'm a figment of somebody's imagination. Now, if you don't believe me about dinosaurs being real, go down to your museum and maybe you'll find a big dinosaur skeleton all wired together by some scientist. Oh, now I wouldn't let anybody lay a hand on me or my skeleton. I'd just disappear, and no flesh and blood thing can do that. Oh, I know. Kids can run and hide and almost disappear, but you and I know they're really there, under the table or behind the curtain. Oh, when I disappear, I really vanish. Oh, but I'm getting off the subject now. Where was I? Yes, my ancestors. Well, the dinosaurs left this world because the Great Ice Age came along, and they just couldn't cope with all those giant ice cubes called glaciers. Pretty soon, man showed up on the scene, and he found some of the dinosaur bones, and they were so big they scared him to death. And so he began imagining what the dinosaurs had really looked like. Oh, you have to hand it to man. He really began using his brain early, and that's how he got where he is today. Oh, it's one thing to think, But it's another thing entirely to do the kind of thinking they call using your imagination. So man began imagining dragons. And you know, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here today. Oh, and I'm very glad to be here, talking to you today. You see, oh dear, what was my subject? Oh, yes, my ancestors. Oh, I keep getting off the track. Now, my forebears divide into two groups, the Eastern dragons and the Western dragons. And they are quite different, you know. Yes, the Eastern dragons are imagined by the Chinese and the Japanese, and they're wonderful fellows, full of wisdom and hidden knowledge. My Eastern grandfathers were kings and very rich, and they ruled the seas and the rain. Oh, we dragons are very important in China and Japan. You'll see pictures of us everywhere, in tapestries, on potteries, in paintings, and, oh, we're much looked up to, though not as much recently as it used to be. Now, my Western grandfathers, however, I don't like to talk about too much. They are the black sheep of the dragon family, cruel, evil, always attacking man, or at least trying to scare him to death, by George. Oh, that's a joke, but not a very good one. For the man who probably fought more fights with my Western grandfathers than anybody was called St. George. Now, just about the only way to tell an Eastern dragon from a Western one is that we Westerners have wings, while the Eastern dragons just ride around on clouds. I'm a Western dragon, as you can see, but I'm rather lazy and I don't fly very much. Now, if you children will try to use your imagination a little, I'll tell you how you can make a do-it-yourself dragon right in your own home.